Hello, greetings. Again, I have to talk about this. I'm stuck on this. Today I had my food proper. So I had this nervous shock, but I'm not taking any. I'm not on psychiatric medications. Sorry. So I don't want to laugh. Something is inside of me making me laugh. So I don't want to get into this ugly thing. I hated these people who were hypocrites. I could not stand them. And sometimes I couldn't decide, there's a black, for me it was perhaps black and white or no gray, like the principal once said. To Miss Mehta to put some gray in me and all this. Not because, I just didn't, for some other reason, I didn't want to. Okay, so now I've said it. So this thing in college, lesbianism, I could not stand. But can you believe it? I could not go up to the principal to tell her the word and that I cannot stand lesbianism. And I must leave this college. And then she's going to ask me sometimes, इंसान को छुपाना पड़ता है या उससे नहीं बोलना पड़ता है. बहुत चीज़ें मैं अपना दुख चाहती थी छुपाऊं प्रिंसिपल से. तो ये कोई झूठ बोलना नहीं है. पता नहीं झूठ ऐसा कवर अप लाए कि मुझे क्या सज़ा मिली और उस पे but Maryam Ashfaq really helped me. And then again I had a thing against her suspicions with David Qasim, right? Link with David Qasim. And when the 9/11 happened, immediately David Qasim and emailed her, and she said that she saw Bibi Zainab in the dream, and Bibi Zainab told her that you will get an email in December, so that no one should. Later on, in retrospect, I started to think that David Qasim was involved. There were signs of my grandaunt, of Gulzar at least, Gulzar, and we have these two alams, very tall alams, and during Muharram. So I started to suspect David Qasim being involved. I even told Mutahar Usmani over the phone, is he a terrorist? And she said, no, he's not a terrorist at all. But I felt an involvement of David Qasim. Then I kind of put things together, and so I thought, he reached Maryam, and he already may have known her, but kept it a secret from me. So I really got upset with Maryam on this. Still, she was very polite and very nice with me, very, very. And I've always praised her for coming so lovingly and so compassionately. During my illness, when I was going against the principal, they had put this devilish resentment, growing sickness in me. I started to tell her also that principal is like this and like that. So she would say, no, she's also great in her own way. You are also great in your own way. So she was coming very wisely, sensibly, And she was working, and I said, Maryam, I've troubled you during work. So she would say, no, keep the messages coming. I don't get troubled at all. So that really, because of my illness, that really touched deeply my heart. Then again, within this, because yes, this, you know what this illness is, flipping against people, not being able to trust people, and then feeling guilty, ungrateful, and and I don't care about, I never cared about my reputation until I met the principal, and she told me, it didn't mean anything, like you don't care about your reputation, you didn't care when you were with Miss Dissa. I was like, no, I didn't care about my reputation, what the neighbors would think, or what, all this, right? So then it's like something happened to me with the principal. I couldn't kill myself. I couldn't commit suicide attempts. I couldn't. I started to really, I worry about if my reputation makes the principal happy, not just to impress her, but unko dukh nahi dena. And then when, something like, well, if in college, when I was strong enough, and the one miracle of my life I got, amazing. I thanked Bibi Maryam, God Almighty. In my diary, I've written this. So I've spoken in length about this on Facebook live streams. Okay, so I had this faith in God, and that I felt God was with me. But I wouldn't tell people that I love God. But I would go on the roof and inside myself. I wouldn't announce this to anyone. I became very private now. Even before I was quiet, but now that therapist bad habit of talking with friends about I miss Miss Dissa, going to therapist, saying the same thing. That bad habit started to reduce in me, and I felt the same peace inside of me, and all this. A lot of things I couldn't stand during the separation with Miss Dissa. I started to, like the charm of life, I started to stand people, places, things. I couldn't stand any change, and I started to stand the change. I loved the change I've put in my diary in St. Joseph's College. So, like this, some lady told me in London, Latin American from South America, that someone is after you and this is not you. You flip and like this. You don't want to get angry, but you get angry. Things like that. So this time Gulzar Elia, this Pakistani man, really, he's used my illness. So I've been thinking about Haris Sultan again and again. It's stuck in my mind. It goes from here to there. Like how callous can they be? And then they say they care for you, human rights and humanity. Hey, this is not my style. So I wish I had from before. No, I've been saying on Facebook against Haris Sultan, but what made me go against Haris Sultan, I'm not going, like it was something like, what is this? Actually, I was against a Hindu who came and questioned me like that on his channel. And, they like, No, I believe in my culture at least. You respect the women. You don't go banging, like that, questioning the woman like that. So that's my culture. And some things I like about London. I don't trust Americans, USA, because of my school, Karachi American School incident. And also the education, like your whole life is in a briefcase. And then they take vacations and all that, that's okay, but there's some things I don't like about the other culture, but we respect and all that. Respecting and understanding others' cultures. This is what I was into. But now, you can't ask me, expect me to understand people like Har Sultan and, these Western things to again contemplate. Sometimes I've remained undecided on some matters. Okay, this thing came back. I was reminded of Maryam Ashfaq. So now it's got to be. I don't know how they picked me up today. I do fry my own, like my food and everything. I did it. But thinking goes on. There's not a minute of rest. So I don't approve using my illness. I had to see, this is the thing, like during Miss Desa's separation when I used to go to the therapist, this is like thinking, I'll say this, and I need answers, and I need to tell her this. And then when I go there, some of the things, like I forget, and I cannot afford to forget, and there's very anxious and restless. Okay, so I remembered the name of Maryam Ashfaq's colleague, who I saw, whose name I saw on Desi Chat, Sharjeel Hamid. So then we are reluctant to ask our friends, but then when it became too much, I told her that I saw this Sharjeel Hamid. So she said, no, it must be someone else, because my colleague, I've even left that job where I had met him. And anyways, I had nothing. I'm not in touch with him anymore, so I don't know also and all this. Something like this, right? Or maybe I'm forgetting, some parts, and I'm not putting things properly. Can't remember it very well. Okay, there's something like, she told me I can't remember well. Can't remember, shall I say, at all? Or no, I remember a little bit that this was her work colleague or something like that. And that's it. But this, so you see, in retrospect, David Qasim's email reaching her and all that, I've explained all this on Facebook live stream. And I've put videos on my old Zahra YouTube channel, which the memory, Google memory, I did not, didn't have a credit card to use. So all that, neither do I right now have a credit card. So the thing is that now on the point here is that Gulzar Elia, I don't want to use Amina Sardar's thing, because I myself suspected Amina Sardar and all this. So, but Haris Sultan also has attacked her on Twitter. What does Gulzar Alia say about that? So, इनका दिमाग बहुत तेज चलता है बाबा, इनसे कौन पहुंचेगा? लेकिन I'm trying, I get at them in the comment section. Now they've got my madness going. oh no, they've worsened it, agitated, aggravated. So, in normal conditions, I would ignore these people. I mean, there were so many Pakistanis who were following me. I would give them that day but then, go take them around when they would follow my car when I was driving. But I have to teach them a lesson. Never to do these things. Stop it now, it is enough. So, the thing I want to say here today is that this whole thing is such a failure. Such a failure. I mean, I don't think it is the right way to do, what are they doing? They're showing us that the Western people are such cold-hearted, unbending way. So wouldn't listen and wouldn't understand. Now maybe some, like the Mr. Amit Goswami had a difficult time with the materialistic scientists, with the quantum physics, introducing that, So, yeah, so they are like that. That's not my way. I don't want to be like that. I want to be a good human being and respect, and also be very, very honest. Like if I have a weakness, if I'm wrong, I hope, like I want it before flipping. So you see, these things I don't approve of. And she said, that lady in London said, there's someone after you, sorcerer. She's doing black magic, sending evil spirits on you. You flip. Anyhow, so, okay, about Maryam, Ashfaq, they're telling me that she lied with the Khuda ki kasam over the phone. I swear on God. So I was like, this is the biggest. It was beyond me at that time. Even though we are both Shias, I was a Shia, she is a Shia, it was beyond me. The way Miss Tissa and the way I worked on myself later on the way principles she wanted to, Miss Tissa wanted to instill in me, or to speak the truth, be honest. But you see, when I met the principal, then again I was like, oh, forget that, right? Like for instance, it became like, but you can't live in a country like, you can't breathe. Already I couldn't breathe without Miss Tissa in my separation. But then when I met Mrs. Munira Gulzar and her giving, she was like, I in the beginning, I felt she was like my mother. I was speaking to my mother. A very lenient, understanding heart lady. Like my mother would listen and all that. This is what I told her in the letter then. And so she was very clement. Okay, she had her bouts and all that, but yeah, in the beginning also angry. She was angry at me. Go and look into the newspaper and all this. But she was overall not malicious. She had a clean heart. Allah bichari, Allah, itni. She was amazing lady. And she would never, ever, as a principal, put the blame on her student who has helped them. So she told me that, no, she said it. Your friend told us. Sorry, I cannot carry on. I'll continue later.